Hey guys, Nick here. Welcome to my spoiler-filled review of the new film Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Again, letting you guys know there will be spoilers in this video. So if you guys don't want anything spoiled, don't watch this video. You're being warned right now. If you guys don't want spoilers, I do have a spoiler-free review that I put up last night. And if you guys want, you can watch that. Otherwise, you've been warned. This movie, like I said in my spoiler-free review, was an amazing movie from start to finish. Star Wars is definitely back. This movie is the first film since the old trilogy, the first trilogy, that has felt like Star Wars. And the prequels, as problematic as they were, I think the big thing to me was that they didn't feel like Star Wars. This movie feels like Star Wars, and it is Star Wars. Again, an amazing movie from start to finish. Everything about pretty much, I couldn't find a whole lot of problems wrong with this movie. So I'll go ahead and start with my negatives. I feel like John Boyega, as much as I loved his portrayal of the character of Finn, I feel like they rushed his character in the beginning. That when he was first introduced as a stormtrooper, and that was his first battle when they land on Jakku, and Kylo Ren and everyone shows up, and Poe is getting the information from that old dude and giving it to BB-8, and and Finn shows up. I didn't like how Finn was like, like, no, I can't do this. But it's like, in my opinion, okay, so obviously these new stormtroopers of the First Order are supposed to be, the raised, like taken from their families, raised from birth to be these killing machines. And I don't understand how Finn, as cool of a character as Finn is, I don't understand how he was able to free himself from the First Order in that aspect. You know what I mean? And watching the movie, it took me out a bit, but overall, I liked Finn a lot. I love Johnny Boyega's portrayal of him. I just feel like how he became such a good guy, like from the start, was a little questionable to me. Another thing I didn't really enjoy about the movie was the lack of a memorable John Williams score. John Williams, because the one problem, there's a big thing in the movie where there are certain scenes that were like, I heard John Williams, but I didn't feel that it was a John Williams score. Because John Williams, he did all the original trilogy, he did the prequel trilogy, and even the prequel trilogy, as problematic as they were, John Williams' score was not a problem. If anything, it made the movies better, kind of better than by having his score. And in this movie, it felt like it was lacking in that. And I really wish that I was in the movie more, but yeah, those were just the big two gripes that I have. Other than that, it was an amazing movie. I keep saying that because it's true. Again, it wasn't a perfect movie by any means, and it didn't necessarily live up to the hype, because this movie the hype for this movie was unbelievably high, and it was never going to live up to anyone's hype. That's not a bad thing, and it's still an awesome movie. It's just people have their expectations way too high. And I can be in that party where, I didn't necessarily prepare myself to be let down in case there was problems. Yes, there was problems, but now it's like the problems are they have a little more weight to them because my hopes were so high. But, yeah, anyways, going back to the things I actually liked about the movie. I know I sound like a Debbie Downer so far in my review, but actually going to things I actually enjoyed, yet again, Daisy Ridley. There's still so much to this character that we still don't know, and I was hoping that we'd see the revelation that that we finally find out that she's Luke's daughter, but they're leaving that up to tell in future movies, and I love that about it. And Daisy Ridley, again, was an amazing actress in this movie. This being her first really big role, it was something enjoyable. I loved seeing her on screen. She's, again, my favorite character in the movie, hands down, next to Kylo Ren. And this is big spoilers right here. So if you guys haven't been if you haven't listened to my warnings, this is the spoiler break right here. The revelation of Kylo Ren being Han Solo's son. That was, as much as I wasn't necessarily surprised, it was a revelation that I was still jaw dropping. Like, oh my god, to see, and they even talk about Luke trying to train Kylo Ren, and the fact that we find out his name is Ben. So obviously it's Ben Solo, obviously named after Ben Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original movies. And Adam Driver was an amazing Kylo Ren. He was a very flawed character, obviously trying to live up to the Darth Vader legacy, but he's still torn. and he's a lot more emotional. He always like he lashes out a lot more than Vader ever did. He's definitely not a character who is who's basically going to fill in the Darth Vader place. He's really not. He's his own character, all on his own. Yes, again, he's trying to live up to the Darth Vader legacy, but he's a character all on his own. And I really I loved Adam Driver's portrayal of it. He became my second favorite character, and obviously they left it open, so obviously he's going to be coming back. I loved his portrayal, and in the end, where he finally has that confrontation with Han Solo himself, and it's getting really emotional, and Han Solo's looking at him, his father to son, and Kylo is like manipulating Han basically. And okay, at this point, if you guys haven't figured out that I'm spoiling you, this is the biggest spoiler of the movie right here. When Kylo kills Han Solo, that was such a heart-wrenching, heartbreaking moment for any Star Wars fan. Han Solo is one character that's really carried us through the original trilogy, carried us through most of this movie, and when they finally get to that scene and Kylo just jams his lightsaber right through his father, that was heart-wrenching. I mean, as the scene was playing out, I was expecting it, but it was something that was just so heartbreaking, and it was handled so well. And like everyone, as much that like the whole scene like stops to focus on them two, when it was a little problematic because like as much as that scene was so powerful, but all the background stuff was like, okay, well they're trying to stop this new Star Killer base, and everyone just stops to stare at Han Solo and Kylo when they could be trying to stop the Star Killer base. But anyways, getting back to that scene, it was just so emotionally powerful. I'm at a loss for words. I'm gonna miss Harrison Ford so much in these movies, and of course he wanted the character to die off in Return of the Jedi, and I think that's another reason why Harrison Ford agreed to come back, was that he could finally get the exit that he wanted as an actor, and I don't blame him at all. Like he wanted to breathe new life in the franchise, and he did. Harrison Ford, I know you're not watching my videos, but if you are, thank you for your service to us fans. Thank you for everything you've done for this universe, and may the Force be with you always. You have been such an amazing actor. You've been so great to us. All we can do is say thank you. So getting to other things I enjoyed about the movie, BB-8 he's the new R2-D2. He is such a likable little droid. He or she, I don't know, they didn't really refer, off the top of my head, I don't know if they referred to him as anything other than he or she, or, as either, you know what I mean? But BB-8 was a droid that I knew what I was getting when I was seeing BB-8 on screen, and BB-8 still captured the hearts of everyone in the theater. He's the new little cute, when they designed BB-8, like, the marketing team, like, they knew they're going to be able to make toys off of that little droid. So, BB-8 was so cool. Seeing Princess, or Leia back, again, such a heart-wrenching moment because obviously she's still very connected to the Force. She's not a Force user. She's not a Jedi, which is kind of, I mean, it's understandable, but as a fan, I kind of wanted to see that side of her. But she's obviously still connected to the Force, and when Han Solo died, she felt that instantly, and it was something that, as you're watching it, it's even more heartbreaking because, she feels it, and that's the love of her life. And even though they've had their issues over the years and they hadn't seen each other for a really long time, and then when they connect again, it's again like I said in my other review about the movie itself, it's like time hasn't changed. These characters haven't changed, and Carrie Fisher did an amazing job in this movie. For as much of a small role as she had in the movie itself, it was an amazing performance from her. And it's even seeing C-3PO back. And seeing Admiral Akbar back, like the most random of people in the Star Wars universe, to see Admiral Akbar. I mean, I was only for like one or two scenes, but it was like seeing this guy back. It's like, okay, yeah, like that's the way, like his really annoying way of talking. I mean, it's annoying, but it's like a funny annoying. So seeing C-3PO there, and when we first see R2-D2, he's all shut down. He's basically like waiting for Luke, and then by the end of the movie, he wakes up and he knows where Luke is, and BB-8 meets R2-D2, and C-3PO comes in. It's like the coolest moment in Star Wars, and one of the coolest moments in the movies. You see, like the new kid, the new little droid, who's basically the new R2-D2, meeting R2-D2 himself, and C-3PO coming in, and not it was just a really geek out moment for me, and that was just, it made me really happy as a Star Wars fan. As you can see, with my really big smile on my stupid face. It was just everything about this movie. Other than those few gripes, it was just amazing. And seeing the ending of the movie, when we see you know, Rey and Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon going to wherever it is that Luke is, and they finally show Luke, and he's just standing there on this island, looking out, and then he turns around to see Rey, and she's like, Rey's handing her his lightsaber. That was a powerful way to end the movie, because there's no part of me that's like, say that that's your daughter. Like I know I'm happy that they left that for the sequel. I really am, but part of me just like I wanted that bit of closure, knowing like, I mean, I love the fact that they're still keeping mystery to the character, but it was just a little. But anyways, there are of course other things I love about the movie. The fact that when Finn and Rey are on the run, and they bump into Kylo Ren at the end of the movie, and you know Finn has that lightsaber battle we see in the snow of him versus Kylo 1-on-1. Rey's knocked out, I think, and you know obviously Kylo's winning the fight. It shouldn't be, in my opinion, it should have been a little more one-sided. Kylo should have been in more control, but unfortunately he's letting his emotions get the better of him. But seeing Finn clearly is losing, and as the Anakin or Luke's lightsaber is thrown off after he's knocked down, and we see Finn as using the Force, because Kylo's trying to grab the lightsaber with the Force, and he can't, and we turn to see Rey grabbing it, and it pulls right to her, and she's using it to fight him. Obviously, she's not very skilled Jedi. She's not a Jedi yet, but there's knowing that like she's a Force user. Seeing that was just one of the biggest moments in the movie, and it was such an awesome scene to see. And obviously, it's a fight that's not going to be finished anytime soon. No, that was the biggest indication. That, and when like earlier in the movie when Maz Kanata talks to Rey, talking about her destiny and why she was able to see like the flashbacks and see Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren when she grabbed Anakin's lightsaber. That was just, and talking about looking in her eyes, it's like that's a clear indication that Rey is a Skywalker. She is like, without a doubt in my mind, she's a Skywalker. She's not the daughter of Han and Leia. I know that for sure. Otherwise, they would have brought it up. More than likely, if she is Luke's daughter, and we're gonna find that out more than likely in the next movie, hopefully, or the next episode movie, because the next movie that comes out is Star Wars Rogue One, which is less than a year away. Every year now we're getting a Star Wars movie every year. That's just surreal to me. I mean, we're getting for not having a Star Wars movie for 10 years, and now we're gonna be getting a Star Wars movie every year. That's insane to think about. Like, as a Star Wars fan, it's insane. But so far, like, again, this movie was an amazing experience overall. Not just the movie itself, but the whole experience of it. Seeing it with fans who lined up for hours. I waited to see the movie for like 3.5 hours to see this movie, and there are people who've been camped out. Like, no movie experience beats Star Wars. Star Wars is the biggest movie franchise ever. No matter how bad or good the movie is, people are always going to be lining up to see these movies. Star Wars is a phenomenon. It's part of pop culture. This movie was an experience going to see this movie was an experience I will never forget. You guys can't already tell I really enjoyed this movie. Despite its problems, it was the better movie of this year. One of the better movies of this year. I'm going to see where it stands as my favorite movie of the year after I see it a few times, because I'm letting the reality of it sink in a bit. But this movie, again, was great action, great dialogue, great humor, great everything, pretty much. There's filled with so much nostalgia, and everything about it just breathed Star Wars, and it felt real again. Star Wars is back in full throttle, and as a fan, I cannot wait to see these new movies. So that's going to be it for me, guys, for my spoiler-filled review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And if you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I do review TV shows like Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow. I have my spoiler-free review, but if you guys are watching this, no point in seeing the spoiler-free review of Star Wars. I do have other movie reviews all up on my channel. I review pretty much everything nerdy, so if you guys want to check that stuff out, you can. Go ahead and hit subscribe, hit like, comment, let me know if you guys agree with me, disagree with me, what do you guys think of the movie, or some more theories that you guys want to throw out there. Just to keep the conversation going, because I got nothing better to do for the rest of this whole Christmas season, so all I'm going to be doing pretty much is watching this movie and talking about it. So that's going to be it from me, guys, so until next time, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.